Hi, I'm Aaron Halimi, the founder and president of Renewable Properties. What's the deal with EV charging in California? Well, let me tell you. Recently, the EPA had an advanced clean fleets waiver that they withdrew from the state of California, and it's a big implication for the industry, and here's why. So the California Air Resources Board withdrew its request for this waiver to implement the Advanced Clean Fleets regulation, which essentially aimed to set up the equivalent of a renewable portfolio standard for medium and heavy duty fleet vehicles in their transition to zero emission vehicles here in California. It set certain targets and mandates for these fleets to go zero emission. With that waiver being withdrawn, it now puts into question that policy and that ability to make that transition. So here are some of the implications as it relates to California EV charging. Regulatory uncertainty. The withdrawal introduces ambiguity for fleet operators regarding the future of zero emission vehicles adoption timelines and compliance requirements. It can create hesitation for investors. Fleets and investors may delay investments in the actual infrastructure due to this uncertainty in the regulatory environment, potentially slowing the deployment of these necessary charging facilities. There's continued state and local requirements, though. That's the silver lining. So despite the waiver withdrawal, state and local government fleets remain subject to that ACF regulation and must continue their transition to zero emission fleets, zero emission vehicles. There's impact on federal funding. So this withdrawal could influence the allocation of federal funds for EV infrastructure, especially in light of recent federal actions affecting these policies and incentives. And lastly, industry response. Both automakers and EV charging companies are urging the Department of Transportation to resume these programs to mitigate uncertainties and support the growth of these needed EV charging networks. In summary, while the withdrawal of the ACF waiver creates regulatory uncertainty, fleet operators and investors should stay informed about state and local requirements, continuing to monitor federal policy developments, and make informed decisions about EV charging investments. So that's what's the deal with EV charging in California. And thanks for listening.